give us all level 2 aid or
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this afternoon's episode of Azure Adventurers. I do thank you all for your patience while we did run a touch and a tickle late. Uh, did a nice little once a month family thing that we do here up at my house. So thank you so much for being patient. We have a fantastic group today as group 2 of the assault on this fortress of the Crimson Maw. Um, Once again, I would like to remind you that you can find out more about a certain character that is a part of tonight's session by joining us for Tuesday's session as the crew of the Cloud Cutter heads in to their very first dungeon crawl. There is the potential they might find Thumb Thule inside, and if they do, it will be exciting to see how that interaction goes. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. With that, there is no other announcements aside from there. After this session, there are no other sessions going on today. Legends of the Verse, also known as Love, will return next week as we dive into a character's backstory and investigate a planet that has a special piece of memory to the gnomes, special piece of influence to their history. So, that being done and out of the way, you guys have been selected as the other half of a team. After multiple investigations and some good information uncovered by other guild members and Mugen, you guys are assaulting one of the known Crimson Maw fortresses in Zaylen. The other group, as you came to a fork in the mountain path, chose to go right, leaving you to go left. As you make your way up the left path in hopes of getting this orc fortress into a pincer attack, hopefully committing as many hostiles to one location as possible, or potentially splitting it evenly, or maybe getting them to retreat, something. You push on up the left path. As you make your way up the left side, you notice the path itself is narrow. It's only about 5 feet wide, and it seems to go on for about 3/4 of a mile up. As you stand at the entry to this path, how would you guys like to proceed?
I think I'll have some trouble fitting my muscles in my armor, but I'll probably go second. Someone who's good at looking at things should go first. I forget stuff, so I should.
Hello?
I think.
this guy will take up back of the group.
Okay, so
Air will suggest that we move slowly and cautiously, and he'll take point.
Mugen right behind you.
Mugen nods in agreement.
Davos will follow middle rear. Not quite in the back, but closer to the back. You'll also take a moment and remind everyone that we find the big boss. Step 1, we gotta make sure he's by himself. So kill anything that moves. Step 2, get around him. Don't give him an escape route. And don't show any mercy. Big bastards like these, you gotta take them down hard and fast. So I think we should go ahead and make sure this thing feels more pain now than it ever thought possible.
Damthil's wrote down everything you said in a little book, and he wants to ask you, how do you spell mercy?
Well, you don't need to spell mercy because we're not going to show any.
He's crossing something out, and he just nods his head. I found a solution, guys, to a memory problem. Books.
Books. Let's go kill us an orc, everybody.
Okay. So, who is taking point?
Air.
Air, you're taking point, followed by Domthul. Who is behind Domthul?
Mugen, I'll
Mugen.
scooch into the middle.
All right. Sky, Davos, where are you two
Davos
positioned?
behind Mugen.
All right, Sky taking the rear.
Yep.
Alrighty. As you start pushing your way up, Air, how are you setting the pace? Are you going stealthily? Are you walking? Are you running? Are you moving?
We're definitely going stealthily.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check. Everyone else follow in suit.
I don't have disadvantage on those anymore. Yay, mithril
I
armor.
do. Yay.
Not mithril. Not mithril.
Well,
You have
it's
you have your fine armored clothing.
As I've been calling it, super clothes.
Super suits. Where's my super suit?
I have my not mithril.
So, you said stealth roll, right?
Stealth roll, please.
I'm gonna use that D6 I didn't use yesterday.
Alright, I think I just succeeded forever. That is a
That's
19 plus 11.
Damn you, Phyllis.
That's a 6.
Oof.
21.
21.
Hey, Mugen and Davos, sneaky boys.
All right.
0.
Oh, 0 free.
Why did I bring you on an infiltration mission?
Oh wait, I have disadvantage, but it doesn't matter because I rolled a 1, got a -2, and I 1 from guidance. Balances out.
Well, you just screwed us. I don't know
Doubtful warned you. He has big muscles and noisy armor.
that. For my shoot you in the leg and leg.
Don't matter.
Oh! Oh,
Don't be
This
too-
horse is lame.
Oh.
Put it down.
Christ! I'm tearing up.
Like a bull in a china shop, this one.
Hey, at least I remembered I had guidance, because then I would have a negative.
Oh, Air, what was your stealth roll?
Not too much better. Not too much better than Dom Thumel with a 9.
Okay.
Nice casual 9.
Okay. And Sky?
6.
Okay. Air, what's your passive perception?
There.
That'd be a 13.
Okay. Okay. As as you guys go to start pushing forward, Domthul at one point actually gets stuck in a portion of the of this small path that gets a little bit tighter and goes down to about 3 feet in wide and just gets stuck and starts flailing, making a bunch of crashing, noising sounds as he starts kind of getting a little vocal with his displeasure at getting stuck.
Guys, my muscles are stuck. I warned you.
At this point, Sky, you kind of stumble as he knocks a few rocks down. You fall, hit the ground, kind of roll. A few more rocks go clattering down the path, heading further down the mountain. And at this point, Air, as you stop and look and turn, you trip a trap, unfortunately. And at this point, I need everyone except for Domthul, because Domthul at this moment you are. You know what, Domthul, make it with disadvantage as you're going to try and avoid this, and I need everyone to go ahead and make a dex saving throw, please. As this went south.
19 for Davos.
9.
0.
All right, well, goodbye. You were helpful.
21.
Oh my god. Phyllis. That's it. I'm rolling physical from now on.
Yeah. I went to physical. Physical is not helping. Physical is just like, hey, -2. -2.
Phyllis has decided that some of us just aren't gonna survive, I guess.
Damsel's durable.
Generic Nico, welcome to the family. We're happy to have you.
God,
welcome,
what is this?
welcome to the clusterfuck. That is,
Alright, so
that
far we've
is.
got a guy stuck in the wall. We've got a trap going off.
That-
We've got nat ones everywhere.
Oh,
We're
that
5
is.
minutes into the session.
That is direct. That is very much 15 minutes into game. Davos, do you have do you have evasion yet?
Evasion. Don't think so.
Okay.
What's rogue level is
You
that at?
take half.
Level 6.
You take so.
7.
Sky, what was your roll?
9, but I was wondering if I could use my Boots of the Winding Path to blink back to where I was before I started.
Make a sleight of feet roll.
You have advantage.
Do 12.
Unfortunately, not enough. So, Mugen and Davos, you both do take half damage. Well, this started off quick. Okay. Damage isn't so bad. You guys are okay. Ish. As you guys start making your way through it, all of a sudden this trap sets off. You hear as 2 large spring-loaded barrels come flying over the edge of this canyon path, spraying you all with acid.
Oh.
14,
God damn it.
15, 16, 17. What would be 17 points of damage for Davos and Mugen is reduced to 8. Air, Sky, and Domthul, you 3 do, however, take 17 points of acid damage.
5 temporary hit points.
Thank goodness for the 10 HP.
Oh,
Did they-
boy.
I was not expecting things to go this south this quick.
My tailor's gonna be pissed.
Oh,
She
that's
didn't make
pretty-
this stuff.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Ow, that burns, son of a bitch.
As those of you who are wearing the clothes made by Piotica, the acid damage slowly begins to get mended, but man, does that sting.
Davos is just gonna look at Air, shake his head, and give him the finger.
I'm sorry.
He will then whisper angrily, "Stop talking. We're trying to be sneaky."
Mugen just points at, like, everyone going. Hands up. Confused look as he ruffles his little feathers, shaking off the bits of acid, casting false light.
Okay.
Air's angry mumbling and infernal as he continues trying to. Oh, first, he pours a flask of oil on Damthul to help him unwedge himself.
Okay, so there's flammable oil on Domthul to get him unstuck.
People, what are you doing?
For reference, just for me to remember later on, further down.
Mugen will.
It's flammable. Maybe it's olive oil. You didn't ask.
It does
It's
air.
a very low smoke point. It's delicious.
Does it?
I mean, air is a
Domthul.
I mean, we could wait a minute for it to dry.
There's.
Or I could just use my flask to dump bottomless supplies of pure water on you to wash it off.
Oh.
I do have a magic flask that's bottomless.
I was
While
gonna ask.
they figure that out, Mugen goes and sneaks off ahead to check the path for more traps.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Stealthily.
Make a stealth check followed by an investigation check.
Let me give you guidance since you're leaving.
Oh gosh.
3.
Okay, 21 on the stealth again. I literally got the same roll. And investigation.
I love you guys. You've already
You
put
have the
me in
guidance?
tears.
13 plus 4, 17, yeah.
You
17.
had your Okay.
Sounds about right.
Did he get guidance off before I left?
Yes.
Yeah, if you were leaving, I would have touched you. I was like, help! And then guidance. The help was for you, not for down. Down feels
So 20 plus 2 on the stealth, so 23, and 17, 18, 19 on the investigation.
Okay. Looking ahead, as you keep a low and slow pace, just kind of waiting for the group to catch up, you head about 150 feet forward before the path opens wide. You don't encounter any other traps making your way up, but looking out as the path widens into a large circular kind of pit area, you notice it seems to lead to a dead end. Doesn't seem to be any other paths looking around. As you give a look up, you look kind of around, you look behind you, you don't see any other paths. What would you like to do, reaching this point?
He will.
Oh, actually, sorry, what is your passive to, Mugen?
16.
16. As you look up, you do notice that ahead of you there is scaffolding that seems to head up above the mountainside, what looks to be to the very top of this fortress where there is a large half-ring tower up above. The scaffolding seems to go all the way up in that direction.
How far is it from the ground to the scaffolding?
So for you to climb up out of this, we'll call it a small little pocket canyon, small little pocket opening area, you'd have to climb about 10 feet up to get to the top of what would be like the roof of it. And it looks like maybe you're about a half mile away from where the scaffolding is.
Okay. He would just look for like footprints or false entryways that might be hidden.
Make an investigation check. And at this point, the rest of the group eventually, getting Domthul cleaned off after being poured over with oil, catches up.
Only a 14.
A 14. As you run out your hand along the walls of this opening and trying to find a gapping in the holes in the wall, you don't unfortunately find anything.
Alright, is the rest of the group caught up at this point?
Yep. As you see Mugen kind of walking the central area here.
I was gonna walk up to him and quietly ask, "What are you doing there, buddy? Looking for a way out?"
He nods his head.
Let me see if I can spot something special here. Making an investigation check at the wall, see if I can see anything, either trap or way up.
Okay.
This guy's gonna start a detect magic ritual while we're looking.
Okay. We'll see what Davos gets, and maybe Davos finds something before you do.
12 plus 5 is 17.
17. Now, as you're running your hand along the wall, as you make your check, you find that there is a small rock impression that is out of place. It almost looks like someone purposely put a brick here. As you kind of dig around and clear some of the debris, it looks like it's either a button or is a removable rock. As you go to try and remove it, or do you just try to push it in? What do you do? It looks like it's either removable or push-inable. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna look at the group and ask if anybody is mage hand.
Mugen nods.
Let me here, little dude. Let me get out of the way real quick. gonna step a little bit back just in case, and also not in front of it. Just go ahead, use your magic, push the button.
Sky's stepping back too.
Jamsa will slowly raise his shield.
Mugen will get like so it's circular, right?
It is. Yeah, it's about a 30. No, it's about a 45-foot area circle going around.
Okay.
And
So
you said it's a 10-foot climb on top of whatever it is.
yeah, it looks like a 10-foot climb, but you guys are smart enough. You've been adventuring long enough to know that climbing up out of this would definitely put you out in the open, but climbing up out of this does seem to be an option.
Mugen will. So because it's round, he would try to, I guess, assess if there was like a little pocket or something. Because just standing 30 feet back might be cool, but if something shoots out, he wants to be like flush up against the wall, kind of parallel with it as best as he can.
Okay.
And then he summons his little raven talon, a spectral purple raven talon that will go and just click one of its little claws into the button, try to push it in.
Okay, as you try to push it in, and you watch as there is a door that pushes back and slides off to the left. There seems to be a hidden passageway this way. Although the tunnel is very, very dark. It is almost pitch black. Your dark vision kicks on for all of you. But it is shades of gray. Finer details to make out are at disadvantage. Unless you have a light source.
DD. I have advantage on like eye checks, so do I just have a regular roll?
When you go to make your perception checks, you do, yeah.
Okay.
I've got a devil's sight.
You have devil's sight? Okay. So you have the longer dark vision out to 120 feet, but it is still in grayscale. So
it says I could see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, to a distance of 120 feet.
Making me reread devil's sight. I feel like you're right, though. I feel like you're right. But for the sake of it, as we head forward, as I go and read that up, you guys have this path. It looks like a tunnel ahead of you. You can see normally in darkness, both magical. Yeah, cool. You're good. Everything is in color from Mugen.
Can I check for traps at the entrance?
Sure. Make an investigation check.
Sky's going to turn to the group. Once we get in, I can make some light.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Mugen gives a thumbs up.
No traps? Cool.
Let's see.
Let's keep it dark. Because if that hole gets
Seven.
finished, if we didn't let people know we were here the last
Total
time,
of a 7?
Start shining the light.
Okay. Mugen, as you look in, everything looks safe. No traps. Just a long tunnel. It goes much longer than your 120 feet. Although you do notice it is 120 foot straight. There is no turns. There's no winds. It just goes straight on.
Mugen gives a thumbs up.
Sky will sheath her dagger, seeing as Devo seems to be alright with walking in the
Yep. Davos will offer anyone with a shield the front position, because this is a long, straight hallway, which more than likely leads to a firing squad.
And Sky is also going to, as we're about to head in, cast Detect Magic ritually.
Okay.
Just in case they're a magical trap.
Okay. So you take 10 minutes and cast Detect Magic. Okay.
Yep.
As you do, who is taking the front?
Damthul will.
Domthul taking the front. Who's
Fool, big boy, taking the front.
I'll be directly behind Damthul, so my detect magic reaches as far as.
okay? Okay.
Mugen will take the rear up after the last fiasco.
Okay.
Alrighty. Diablo's right in front of Mugen.
Okay. Air behind.
Looks like Aaron's taking the middle.
Air in the middle. Okay.
Air is the sandwich.
Sky, as as you start making your way through, you do indeed notice that there is some magic in here. You do detect some magic above you. It's very strange. You look up, you can't see anything, but directly above you, there is magic. It feels like an enchantment magic. You count 5 things. Are you stopping the group as you detect this?
I'll raise a hand and point up and just say, "Enchantment above us."
Are you saying it loudly or are you trying to whisper?
Like, very quietly.
Make a stealth check for me. And a natural 20? I can't see the dice.
You missed.
1.
Oh,
Oh dear lord! Everyone who isn't me and Mugen, just stop trying to be sneaky. You're just fucking
It's
it up.
for anyone. Hallelujah.
This is painful. As you say this, you think you're rather quiet. Luckily, because you have pointed them out, I am going to put their entire initiative as 1. Roll. And they are going to... There are 5, as you say this and point this out, 5 small figures descend from the ceiling with daggers and short swords in hand and start stabbing out at you guys as they drop down on top of you. And we're going to start with the first one dropping down on Domthul, making their first strike out at you. Domthul for a 17 to hit. Does that make contact?
Nope.
17. The first one goes to strike down at you. You bat it aside. It lands on the ground in front of you, kind of sharing your space, and looks at you with this crazed vision. Bits of flesh and meat kind of hanging from one side of its mouth. You notice it has these big piercings all along its lips and the side of its face. Directly behind Domthul was Sky. Sky, does a 17 hit you?
Nope, because she'll throw up a shield.
All right, you cast shield and one now stands between you and Domthul, kind of sharing that space. The next one is Air. Air, that is an 18 plus 5 for a 23.
That'll hit.
Okay. As it stabs you with the first one, it goes and makes a second stab for a 20.
Yep.
Makes a third stab. Misses, though, with a 1. As it gets 2 quick stabs in at you with a short sword and a dagger. Oh, lame. Air, you take 4 points of piercing damage with the short sword. Or, not, sorry, with the dagger. That was the dagger roll. This is the short sword. That is a d6. However, not much better. You take 5 points of piercing with the short sword. As it then drops down on Davos. Another one getting in the way. Davos, that is a 19, just barely with a 14 plus 5.
I'm killing this thing with my bare hands. I want it dead. And you know what? I'm cutting your tongue out, Sky.
The second one is a 20 to hit.
God damn it, that also hits.
Okay.
I blame all of you.
The third strike is an 18 plus 5 for a 23 to hit.
Also hits, of course, of course.
Swings again for a 21 to hit.
Jesus Christ, people, you're gonna get me killed right here.
Hey. So 17 plus 5 to hit.
Great.
So that is
Five
three
now.
short swords, 2 daggers. It rolls again to hit. This one is a 17 flat, so it hits you 5 times with just this flurry of insanity as it just as it just stabs you a whole bunch of fucking times. Scared the cat. Total damage from the short sword is 18 points of piercing damage as it just like prison shanks the crap out of your side multiple times. And 2 daggers for 4. And 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 points of dagger damage. So a total of 29 points of psychotic little stabbing goblin damage.
Alright, well, I'm 50% HP already. This is going splendidly.
And the last one drops down on Mugen.
Mugen, you be a champion and you just throw this thing off of you.
16 to hit, Mugen. That hits. Short sword. That's a natural 1. Goes to stab you with the dagger. Stabs you the first time. Realizes you're a burden. Wants to eat you now. Short sword damage. Low ass damage. 4 points of piercing damage with the short sword. Just... Okay. Everybody roll initiative. I'm going to change the music.
I got a -1.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I got a 14.
Oh.
17.
All right, Davos with a 14. Sky, you said a 17. Mugen.
5.
Oh boy. Air.
Davos, what's your dex?
Also a
Yeah.
14. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
My dex mod is +3.
Well,
Damn it, so's mine.
I'll let you two decide who wants to go first. Unfortunately, these psychotic little goblins come down and just insanely start going on their attack line down the way as they go. So, starting with Domthul. Trying to hit the big... Nope, that misses. That's a natural 8. Okay. That one misses, clashes off Domthul's armor. Stupid steel! Stupid steel! Bad for digestion! Comes to the one in front of Sky now. Sky, is an 18 going to hit you?
Nope, because shield
Shield is still up, that is correct. Misses her. Oh, magics! Magics! Then comes to Air. Might hit you, Air. I don't know what your AC is. An 18. Flat.
That misses.
That misses. You're at
being
19.
attacked
Yeah,
by
I have a 19.
You have a 19. Solid. Excellent. Comes to Davos. Whoa, shit. Lost that die. Davos misses. Meat. Mugen, 15 to hit.
No.
Misses. All right. As they go and try and make another flurry of crazy little goblin attacks, they miss. And it comes to Sky. For reference, just in the situation you guys are in, as it's goblin body, goblin body, goblin body, I'm going to say until you kill one of the goblins, no one has advantage on any roll. Everyone's kind of engaged and focused on one at a time. So, Sky, top of the round, comes to you.
Alright. I'm going to through my stuff.
I haven't done crazy goblin voice in a long ass time. I gotta work on placement.
All right. I'm going to draw out my radiant dagger. I'm not going to light it up, but I'm going to take a couple stabs at the little goblin fucker in front. That would be a. Let's see. 12.
A 12, as you go to stab out it, he dodges out of the way. Little dwarf, gotta eat you!
That's okay. She's going to switch hands and stab again for 22.
That one will hit.
All right, and that will be. That'll be 5 points of damage.
All right, this time you see him just get excited that you missed, and then you stab him. Just kind of reaches into his own wound, pulls out some blood, and just starts rubbing it on his face.
That's
He
pretty freaking metal.
seems a little touched in the head.
All right, and then for my bonus action, I'm going to attack with an offhand regular dagger.
Okay.
That'll be another 21,
That'll hit. All the sturbs.
and that'll be 4 points of piercing damage.
All right, you get another stab and pulls, just reaches back in, grabs more blood, and this time just goes to kind of like swipe it out at you as his reaction and just try and like tack you with a bit of blood onto your dress. 18 plus 5. He just smears a bit of his own blood on your dress. You're mine! You're mine! I claim you! Looking a little more psychotic now at this point.
And yep, that'll be Sky's turn.
Okay. This goblin seems to have just called dibs on his food. Goblins in the Crimson Maw operate on the rule of dibs. Ending Sky's turn, it comes to Air and or Davos.
Davos is gonna go ahead and take a swing at something that's within 5 feet of an ally with 2 short swords to try and get a sneak attack. Because let's face it, firing a rifle in a confined space like this is likely to make everybody go deaf.
Probably a smart move. So the goblin in front of you that just made a wombo combo on you like it was like it's its job.
Yeah, I'm killing that thing. That thing needs to die right now. Alright, so because I don't have the 2-weapon fighting thing, the second swing doesn't use
your
proficiency.
dex damage to it. So it is just a flat d6.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Then the regular dagger would have just been 3.
3? Okay.
This is not a d20. That is a d12. That's not gonna help me here. I need to roll a 20. I was wondering why the highest number I could see on that was a 12. Okay, first sword is 16 plus 7 to hit. Second sword.
That hits.
Second sword is a 10 plus 7 to hit.
That hits.
And now for the second attack. 6 plus 7. I'm assuming that misses because that's what, like 13?
Oh, you don't have advantage. That was just one. That is your attack, second attack, and are you making an offhand attack?
I think he did attack offhand, and now was second.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was rolling the first 2 swords for the first attack, now the second sword attack with both of them.
Okay.
So the first sword of the second attack was 13.
That misses.
Alright, now the other sword.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. You've done attack, second
And then
attack,
offhand.
and then
Attack,
you...
offhand, and then attack offhand.
No. You have attack, bonus action attack. So you only have 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so hang on. I have 2 weapons, right?
2 weapons.
I'm swinging both of them.
Right,
Yeah.
but it still
Yep.
counts action economy as attack action, 1 sword, second attack action, as you have extra attack.
Okay, so it takes both my attacks to swing both the swords. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, otherwise everyone would be dual wielding like a badass.
Yeah, I'm just forgive me. This is the first time I've used melee, other than one time
Yep.
I
That
grabbed
is
my head off with
That
Yeah.
is true. It is the
Don't
first
use
time.
melee very often.
The offhand, uses your bonus action, doesn't get your extra.
Yep. So your first strike is like 1-2 stab. But your
Okay.
offhand does not hit. So your first 2 strikes make contact. Your first hit.
Wait.
The-
Okay, so I rolled. It was a 16 plus 7, and then a 10 plus 7.
Yep.
Those are my 2 rolls.
Yep. And then the offhand attack was a 13, which misses.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I think I understand how it works now. Okay, so
Yeah.
the offhand, the stab missed, but the first 2 attacks hit.
Correct.
And now for the.
And you do get your sneak attack on the first hit only.
Right. Okay, so that's an extra 2d6. So the first one is 5, 9, 13 damage. And now the second one. Oh, wait, no. 5 plus, because this is my regular main hand. So 5 plus 3 is 8. And 4 plus 3 is 7. So 7 and 8 is 15.
15 damage on the first 2 strikes.
And then the last one, I believe, was a 3. So 18 on the first swing.
With your sneak attack. Nice.
And
Nice.
then the second swing, which is just flat damage, right?
Nope. Because it is with your main hand, your first 2 attacks, you still get your dex mod to that. It's your bonus action that does not get that bonus action pokey poke.
In that case, it is just 6 damage.
6 on that second strike.
Do you also get Colossus Slayer with it?
I do. Wait, maybe? Is that range?
Weapon
60?
attack.
I have to ask, is Colossus Slayer work on anything, or does it work on things larger than you?
Yeah, it works on anything.
Okay, that is a very deceptive name and title.
You're thinking of Giant Slayer.
Is that the one I'm thinking of? Okay.
Yeah, Giant Slayer is for big guys. And yeah, that's what I was like the first few times I had that ability, I didn't use it because I thought it only worked on big shit with a name like Colossus Slayer.
Yeah. What was so what does the Colossus Slayer extra damage give you?
It is 1d8. Shit, there went my d8. I dropped it trying to select the net.
D8 go.
Date.
Ah, crap, where the hell is it?
I think we can all agree that this session is revenge for David's birth.
It feels like it. I feel kind of
Shut
bad.
up. Shut up.
It's my second birthday.
That is another 6 damage from the d8.
Another 6.
12 and
Nice.
15 damage together.
You almost completely butcher this goblin in a series of hits. He's still somehow holding himself together. That's my insides! As he starts kind of like putting him in together, he's like, I stab you!
Bleed to death, you little shit.
You! Eat you!
How? You got no insides. I'll just fall right out of your belly, dumb shit.
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
comes to air.
If you battle with the goblin,
And,
comes to air.
Yeah, Air whips out his switchblade Yakoa and starts stabbing.
At the one in front of you, alright. This one has not hit you yet. It has certainly tried.
8 plus 8 for the first one.
Hits.
And then 4 plus probably misses.
Yep.
That'd be an 11.
11 points of damage on the first strike. Yeah. Deals a good amount of damage as you stab it and reaches in, grabs some of his own blood, just kind of starts putting it all over himself and just trying to look scarier.
And then let's go with 2 punches to the...
All right, going with a flurry of blurs. Mark that key point and go ahead and try and punchy.
That's a 15 plus 7 and a 10 plus 7.
Yeah, both hit. Hey. Icky, thank you so much for that. A D6 to both Davos and Mugen. Thank you so much for the cheer and the support, you guys. It means so much.
Thank you.
That support is amazing. I love you
having a rough
guys.
go of things today.
Actually, you know what? I think I still have a D6 as well. I'll save it, but that's a total of... which is 8 plus 6, which is 14, I believe. Yes.
14 points of bludgeoning. As
That's
you
correct.
crack this goblin in the face. Is that both strikes worth of damage?
Yes, that's total.
All right. As you just wham, wham, drive 2 strikes, the goblin's nose just snaps to the side and it's kind of hanging off. You can even see where the cartilage is kind of pushed through the nose and just... he's just trying to like gauge his just visuals at this moment. Seems a little thrown off. That was a pretty nasty hit. Nicely done. Ending your turn.
That would be...
Alrighty. Ending Air's turn. It comes to Mugen.
Mugen, his beak grows and starts dripping with acid as he'll peck out at the goblin in front of him.
Fuck yeah!
26.
Yeah, that hits. As you just start pecking violently with your beak and that primal savagery coming through.
Kick his ass, Seabass.
Only 9 damage.
9 points of acid damage as you just drive home a peck square into the left pectoral of this goblin. It burns away flesh and just... And he looks at you and he actually looks a little nervous that you just stabbed him in the fucking chest with your beak.
With your face.
He's a little cautious now. He seems to be taking a much more cautious stance. Is at the end of your turn.
Yes, that'll be the end of my turn.
All right. Ending your turn, it comes to Dom Thuo with a -1.
Dabspool's trying his best, okay?
Damthul got really distracted by the lovely brickwork of this hallway.
He did.
It's
He
well
does
constructed for an orc hallway.
know his stone work. So there's only one goblin next to him, or there's 2?
There is one in front of you, one behind you.
Dabspool's gonna try to attack the one in front of him
Alrighty.
with his battle axe. It's like his great axe, but smaller. He names all his weapons, by the way. I won't go into detail. Does a 17 hit?
17 does hit.
Takes 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage as you drive the battle axe home into his body. Just...
And since I'm finally a level 5 cleric, level 5 paladin, I can do 2 attacks per action. Yay!
That you can. The first hit for substantial 9 points of damage. You go for a second one.
This is the complete opposite of what I've been rolling all day so far. Natural 20.
Fuck yeah!
There
Hell
we
yeah.
go.
Yeah. And since I'm a half orc, I get to add an extra damage dice.
You get that brutal critical. Yes, you do. That orcish aggressive critical.
What else? I get one other thing. I'm trying to remember what it was. The sharpen whatever that we get from our jobs. Where we add an extra damage dice.
You are using
Hone edge. There we go.
Have you been blacksmithing every day for a week?
Yeah.
All right.
I haven't used it yet.
Alrighty.
Let me get another D8. That's what? 4 D8s? Yeah, 4 D8s.
Let's see. Your
Two for
2,
the
then your
weapon.
orc, and then the honed edge. Yeah, that would be 4d8. I will laugh if he doesn't die.
Oh my god, those are good numbers. 22.
22.
Is he
Yeah,
alive?
the goblin is still alive. As you strike
Can I smite
through for another hefty blow, just he kind of gnashes his teeth.
Yeah, I don't want to use smite him. Oh, who's the one person that got hurt a lot? That took half health.
Me. A
Give me
goblin
word.
kind of got on.
Gemfo will look at you from across the room and be like, feel better.
Guy opened their mouth
Oh,
and
geez.
shouted.
Oh, shut it. They were waiting for us anyway.
But if you were quiet,
get
we could have got
5
the
points
drop
of health
on
back.
them.
5 points of health back. That's good. That's
That will
good.
save you from part of one of their attacks.
Yep, and that's down Fool's turn.
All right, Damn Fool's turn is over. It comes back to the top of the round. I'm going to pick a different d20. I want to hit the big armored orc after all. Oh, shit, missed that roll. 18 plus 5 to hit you, Domthul, for the first
yeah.
one.
That hits.
Excuse me. A 19 on the second roll.
Miss.
A 19 miss?
19 total?
Yep.
I have an AC of 20 right now.
You have an
I'm
AC of...
using a shield.
Because you have what?
I'm using a shield right now.
You have plate armor.
No, I have the fighting style, defensive. Plus
Rockin'.
one armor.
Okay, so he only gets one hit.
Yep.
And bam! 4 plus 3. You take 7 points of piercing damage as he stabs you very angrily and tries to kill you, not finding much purpose as he is feeling rather weakened from those hits. And he is still alive as he just...
He's gonna take a page from their book and take the wound and just like draw an L on his a D on his forehead. A very poorly drawn backwards D.
I will allow it. I will allow it.
Dead in the eye.
Okay. Coming to the one in front of Sky. That is an 18 plus 5 for a 23 to hit you, Sky.
That'll hit.
All right. Stabs you with the short sword. Goes for the second strike.
Before that, as my reaction, I'm gonna hold out my radiant dagger right in front of his stupid little goblin face, and flare it up into a blinding.
Can you do that as a reaction?
Yeah, because I made my dagger radiant.
Okay, and what does that do? What does this goblin have to do?
The attacker must make a con save or be blinded.
Con save. That is an 18 plus 1 for a total of 19. Is that a success?
Yeah.
Okay. The second one is a 19 plus 5 for a 24.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Another short sword coming in this time for a 5, 6, 7, 8, 18 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. Fourth one's a natural one.
That'll hit. No. No.
What? Shit, yeah! Awesome! Okay. For the 2 short sword attacks, as this goblin that seems to have called dibs on you, as all the goblins seem to be calling dibs on each of you now. Sky, you take 9 points of damage for the first short sword, followed by 7 points of damage for the second. And the dagger is 4 points of damage. So, 9, 12, plus something. 9 plus 7 plus 4. Math is failing me at the moment. 20 points of damage, Sky.
Yep.
As Psycho Goblin stabs at you a whole bunch. Air, the one that you've beat the ever-loving shit out of right now, is going to try and stab the crap out of you. That is a 19. Does a 19 hit you?
Just
hits. Okay. It's 1. That one misses, only hits you with a short sword. You take 5 points of piercing damage with the short sword, ending his turn. Comes the one in front of Mugen now. Natural 20 with the first strike. Total of 25. First one. I'll just roll damage for that. Misses on the second one, though, with a natural 6. Oh, come on. What a weak-ass natural 20. You take 6 points of damage. I rolled a 1 and a 2. As he seems very cautious of you, Mugen, and tries to, find a way around the beak. Even though he finds a purposeful blow, it doesn't sink as deep as he would have hoped, as it only deals 6 points of piercing damage. Not as good as he would have hoped for. Coming to the one in front of Davos. That's a second natural 20.
Oh, fuck off. God damn it, this little son of a bitch.
He's the alpha.
Oh, shit.
Oh, this one just screams at you, Davos. As
They're falling out.
as it is almost dying, but it wants to eat you. It goes, food. Davos, you take 5, 9, 12 points of piercing damage from the first short sword strike. I rolled the same back-to-back natural 20, then a 6 again, so he misses you with the dagger after just perforating your stomach with a massive 13 points of piercing damage. Alrighty. Go Goblins! Go Goblins! Sky, it comes to you after being stabbed a lot. Stabbed quite a lot.
It's my turn. I'm just looking through my stuff. All right. Yep. Can't really do much up close, so I'm going to stab with my radiant dagger the little shit. 15.
A 15 misses. You go to stab him and he shifts out of the way. And just,
Great. Second attack with it. 17.
17. This one does hit. You catch him as he shifts and then.
That'll be 4 points of piercing damage.
All right. Gabo still seems to be doing well. Despite the 2 stab wounds, he's like.
And that's a nat 20.
Nice! Offhand nat 20. There we go.
So I don't get to add my modifier, so that's 6.
6 points. And this other one, as you stab through, it kind of jams underneath the rib cage and locks for a second. You just pulls it out with your hand still attached and kind of looks a little dizzy. Definitely a good hit.
And that's about all I can.
Okay, ending your turn. Davos, Air, you guys.
This thing needs to die right now. I'm making a single main hand attack against it. And is there a goblin behind me?
Negative.
Okay, so there's only one in front of me.
There's only one in front of you.
There should be the one in front of me.
Both my attacks
It is.
against
It goes Davos, Goblin, Mugen, Goblin, Sky, Goblin, Air, Goblin, Domthul, Goblin.
So there is a goblin behind Davos.
No, it's Davos then Goblin, Mugen then Goblin. Because
I was in the rear.
Oh, you were in the rear?
behind me.
Yeah.
Okay, change that order.
So it's Mugen, Goblin.
Mugen,
Davos,
Goblin, Davos, Goblin. Yeah.
Alright, then I'm gonna use one of my main attacks on the goblin in front of me.
Okay.
Let's see here. Oh! Fuck you, you little son of a bitch.
Are you cursing at the goblin, the die, the...
I'm cursing at the goblin. Give me a second to get my camera out.
Did you net 20?
I nat 20. Fuck this little bastard.
I'll come back.
This is where all you do is roll ones on all your d6s for your sneak attack and your short sword. Look at
I
that.
nat 20. Go fuck yourself, you little shit.
Oh.
Alright, so that is a d6 times 2.
Yeah,
The
and your
modifier
and your
don't
and your
count,
sneak
it's
attack.
long.
And your sneak attack.
So that's 6 die 6.
6 dice 6. Good lord.
What's your sneak attack?
It's
2d6?
2d6, yeah.
And your short sword is 1d6, so yeah.
Yep, 66. Look at that.
And
Plus-
the mod is not
plus your
doubled.
mod. No,
Oh, the mod.
the mod
is doubled, though.
is applied once.
Yep.
Right. Alright, let's see here. 6, 12,
I just killed audio.
5, so 17, 18, 21. No, wait, 18 plus 4 is 22. What am I talking about? 21. 25 damage total with one swing.
All right. As you do, you stab into the goblin's center mass right through his chest. He kind of reaches out and grabs your arm and have been dinner friends. Now
Just like
I know eat you.
Can his guts fall out, please? I've got a one-liner.
As you pull the blade out, the slashes that you've made, his internals do indeed. His stomach, his intestines kind of spill out, and just a bit of a gush of blood as you pull the short sword out of his chest, just crumples to his knees and slops over.
Hey, Goblin, you dropped something.
The rest of the goblins, seeing this, just go into a frenzy and seem to be losing their shit at this point.
Now for the one behind me,
Okay.
because I still got another.
You have advantage now, as one goblin is dead.
Alright, well that's not nearly as good, but 15 plus 7, I'm assuming.
That hits.
Okay, good. Not a nat 20. That felt really good. I gotta get more of those. Okay, so just 1d6. That's a 5. Plus 3, 8 damage. And Colossus Slayer for a d8.
Yes, you do have Colossus Slayer.
So 8 plus 3 is 11 damage.
11 points of damage. Mugen, you watch this goblin not paying attention. Focused on you, just squaring off as Davos turns around and just BAM! Stabs it right in the back. You see the blade jut out the other shoulder, collarbone area. You just looks back and starts trying to figure out who to focus on as he shifts his attention between the two of you now.
Still got my bonus action.
Still got your bonus action attack.
Alright. So, the goblin in front of me is dead, which means that's 5 feet, that's 5 feet of movement more that I can take away from this other goblin. Right.
Wait, say that again?
So there was a goblin behind me and in front of me, right?
Yep.
The goblin in front of me is now dead. So
Yep.
I could move further away from the goblin.
You could go back to back with air. Yep.
I might do that, because I'm pretty harried. Yeah, I'm gonna use my movement to, I'm gonna use, wait, you know what? No, I'm just gonna use my bonus action to quaff a potion right in front of him.
Okay. Quaff a potion. Easy enough. Ending your turn
Keep standing.
comes to air.
Air's going to start with a stunning strike.
All right.
It's 8 points of healing.
Nice.
Thank Christ. Maybe that'll help me stay standing.
DC 15.
Rolled a 17 plus 1 for an 18.
Okay.
As you
That,
pop him with your first unarmed strike right in the face, you just kind of... You push the nose a little bit more.
Stunning strike has to be a melee attack.
Oh, it's a melee attack? It works for unarmed strikes as well.
Has to be a weapon attack. I mean,
I've always had that ability work for unarmed strikes, but if you're using your Yakla as well, that's perfectly fine. You try and get a good slashing pierce out at him, and he just kind of holds himself. He's like, what?
yeah, that's a 18 to hit.
Go ahead and roll damage.
That's 7 damage.
Nice. This one.
It's gonna make another stab, but this time normal.
Okay.
It's another 18.
Another 18. Also hits.
That's 9 damage.
Nice. All right. With that, you're 2 stabs in. He just bad food as he also dies, slumping to the ground. Another one dies. The rest of the goblins just
Step of the wind, core off the walls to the one in front of Dumthul.
I am going to have you make a check, as this is going to be a very difficult thing. There's not a lot of movement, as you do have allies in front of you, and the roof of this is not that high. It's about 7 feet tall total in this cave dugout.
Okay.
So I will have you make a check just to kind of avoid colliding with an ally.
That's a 19 plus 7.
Rockin'. As you landed giving Dom Thule a flanking position on the one in front of him. Easy enough. Good use of your turn. I like it. All right, bringing us to Yugen. You have advantage.
I will once again. His beak grows in size and hones to a razor sharp edge as he pecks out again at the goblin.
Back.
18.
Yeah, that hits.
For 13 points of acid damage.
Ooh. That burns him. At this point, all 3 remaining goblins are looking very harried. They are looking heavily wounded. And this one that you've just pecked is looking the worst out of him. He is starting to bleed profusely, and he's actually starting to look visibly worried. Like, despite the psychopathy in the back of the mind, he is looking scared. He's looking scared. Ending your turn, Mugen.
Yep.
All right. Dom Thule, you are squaring off with a goblin. You have advantage.
What's left of a goblin?
It's still alive. Not dead yet.
Advantage, right?
Advantage.
That's
Buddy.
Okay.
It's okay. Everything's okay.
25.
Yeah, a 25 will indeed hit.
He'll take 9 points of damage.
Okay. With that, you just kind of rotate the battle axe in your hand, and as you do, you slam it into the side of his head. It buries about halfway into this goblin's face. It just violently shakes as just the nerves in his head just get severed as he just pulps to the ground. That goblin's dead.
There's one behind me too, right?
There is one behind you. You have advantage with Sky.
Still? 24 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
How's this one looking?
It's looking
He
pretty
hasn't hit
good.
yet.
He's wounded, but he's pretty
He hasn't
good.
hit yet? Alright. Oh. Think about smiting him, that's why. Yeah, I'll smite him. Jump when he's a certain thumb.
All right.
Those are good numbers. 8 plus 6. $26 damage.
Tom Thule, which of the elemental divinities or the triune are you a cleric and paladin of?
It was the holy. Oh man, he has an X in his name. It's
Rixos?
always hard for me to pronounce.
Lux.
Yeah.
Rixos, all right. As the old divine energies of Rixos, one of the oldest prime beings in the universe, radiates through your smite. You watch as a beam of radiant energy erupts in this tunnel as this goblin is evaporated into not even dust, just mere little particles of light. There's this moment where you hear this as the goblin like that. Yeah, buddy.
That's what you hear.
Like that. Every Sunday. Come this way, little buddy. There you go. Go play that way. As the goblin is just turned into nothing. Nicely done. There is one goblin left, and that goblin is, at this point, somehow holding their morale together, just barely making that roll.
I don't think I should do that. Nah, Dampu will just say, ooh, pretty lights at the thing he just made.
Okay. Boy. There is the bird that keeps pecking its brains out. And then there's the guy who stabbed it in the back. I'm gonna roll a d6 for this. Mugen, odds or evens?
Odds.
Davos.
Oh, goddammit.
May the odds always be in your favor.
Yeah, they seem to be. Yeah.
This little bastard turns and just with a vigorous fervor just and just starts trying to violently stab the shit.
That's another net 20. Yeah.
That's
It's not my day, is it?
that's another natural 20. I'll flip die. 17 plus 5 on the second. That's 2.
Yeah.
Third one is a 6 plus 5 for a 21.
Yep.
Okay. Fourth hit comes in at an 18 plus 5.
Yep.
15 plus 5.
Yep. now?
5. 16 plus 5.
Yep. I'll save you the effort.
There we go. That's a 2. That's a 2. So we have 3 short sword stabs and one natural 20.
Good night, everybody.
So right, hold on. 3. There's the short swords. Okay, there we go. Okay, damage is not that great. For the natural 20, you take 10 points of piercing damage. So he stabs you the first time. The second short sword comes in for 6. A total of 16. The third short sword comes in for 9. For 25 points of short sword stabs. And then I just need 3d4. 3 plus 3 is 6. Plus 3 plus 3 is 6 again for 12. Plus 2 is 5. So you fail 2 death saves as this goblin, not knowing when you've actually fallen unconscious, just continues following your body's momentum as it's just a series of prison shankings. It's just blood spraying everywhere. Bits of Davos going all over the place as this goblin has lost its marbles. Ending that goblin's turn. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's gonna end that goblin's turn. He is focused on killing Davos. Davos has failed 2 additional death saves, and it comes to Sky.
Well, Sky's gonna try and hustle her way over to cast Cure Wounds on Davos.
Okay. You make your way over, you cast Cure Wounds, the goblin just looks at you. Ah!
That'll be 11 points of heal.
Nice! 11 HP is solid.
And that will be her turn.
Okay.
And she's she's actually going to nudge Davos aside and put herself between Davos and the.
If you're gonna try that, the goblin is gonna try and prevent you. So it is going to be a contested athletics check, as this goblin is more just like stabby, 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 for food.
It's cocked. Athletics.
What'd you roll?
14.
It rolled a 3. You're able to slide Davos out from underneath this goblin.
Nuh-uh. Mine.
My food! I eat you then!
My idiot. You can't have him.
Alright.
I'm going to eat this goblin as an act of spite. And I want it to be alive when I
So you're going to cannibalize a goblin. Okay. We'll see how that works.
That's my plan.
Comes to Davos in air.
I must eat this goblin. Alright, so
Get up.
step 1, get up.
Stand up 15 feet.
Step 2, nudge my way past Sky real quick.
So you're going to move out of the range of the goblin.
Wait, I thought he moved me behind him and put himself in between me and the goblin.
Is that where you were moving him? Sky?
That was the idea, yes.
Okay. Sky, are you going to allow Davos to move you and trade positions? Because that will get an attack of opportunity on you.
Think of that.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. So, here's the problem that you're going to encounter, Sky. If this goblin hits you once, it's going to keep hitting you, as part of its
Yeah.
traits are Stab Frenzy, and once it hits with a melee attack, it may hit again and continue making additional attacks until it does not hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay. Wanted to double check. Luckily, I don't think it hits you with a 16 on the roll. As you go to move it.
Nope.
Ah! That's right. It makes that noise. Careful, don't break the screens, buddy. Misses you as Davos. You get into its face now.
All right, step 1, taking a short sword swing at it.
Okay.
Does he have advantage?
He does with Mugen being there.
All right, then that is with advantage. Thankfully, that is a 17 to hit.
You see the kitty? 17 makes contact.
All right, now for the second attack. Wait, would biting its neck be an action or a bonus action?
That would be an action.
Alrighty then. In that case, I'm going to use my bonus action to stab at him with my offhand.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage for your first attack.
Alright.
And go ahead and add your sneak. Actually, even with your sneak attack and modifiers added to that, you, Davos, with the first strike, stab through into the goblin's throat. As it does, it just... It grabs at your wrist and...
I'm just gonna take a chunk out of its neck.
Okay, make a biting attack. As the human's mouth is not really made for biting another human being, I will say it will be made at disadvantage, though it is in its death throes. Go ahead and make it normally.
Alrighty, is that what is the modifier on that? Strength?
It is going to be your strength mod plus your proficiency.
Okay, so 16 hit?
16 just hits.
Oh, I am gonna enjoy this part.
You guys watch as Davos goes cannibalistic for a moment and draws the sword out, grabbing the goblin by the face and bites down on the throat. What do you do after that?
I'm just gonna rip if I can. I mean, it's probably pretty messed up with the sword wound, so I'm just gonna tear off as much of it as I can get a mouthful of.
Okay. You pull the sword out, you grab the goblin by the head as it starts thrashing at your arms and at your back. You hold its shoulder and bite down like a vampire would and just grind your teeth into the open gash that you put on one side. And the goblin's throat is fairly thin. But you're not able to get fully around halfway of this goblin's neck. You get a good portion in as you bite down and squeeze and tear out. You get a good mouthful of stagnant, slightly gross-ass goblin flesh. I do need you, however, doing so, to make a Constitution saving throw.
I'm
As
fine
you-
with that. Worth it.
As you get
Jesus, I thought we saved you from Volt. What
as
is
you get the blood of this creature in your mouth.
Hello? Hello?
We're here.
Okay, I got, as you get the blood of this... And
Oh, yeah, you get the blood of this creature in your mouth.
Alrighty, alright, I'm making my roll. Does a 13 do it?
Okay.
Alright, then I'm just gonna spit all of this into its face, look it in the eye, and say, bad meat.
Okay. As you do that and you spit it out, you hear a voice in the back of your mind. Waste of meat.
Not my fault it's spoiled.
Dig back in. Fill your hunger with my lesser followers. And I need you to make a charisma saving throw, Davos.
I'm better at these. 17.
You manage to just barely resist the compulsion
I almost got the hunger.
to give in and start devouring these goblins. You hear this voice. Disappointing. I will break you soon enough, and you will feast.
All right, Sky's gonna take a quick look around, see that everyone, especially Davis, kind of fucked, and point up at the ceiling as a rope trick portal appears.
Oh,
You cast rope
The
trick.
goblins have anything on them?
The goblins each have a. You're able to collect 5 short swords and 5 daggers. However, do you have a way to hold and store these?
I have a sack.
I have spots on my super clothes, woven special. Thank you, Piatica. Little sheath on my inner thigh for a dagger.
Okay. She's able to
I'm
pick
gonna
up.
slot that sucker in there.
Okay.
Mugen wants to search for any correspondence, notes, maps, anything.
Okay. Make an investigation check. Davos, you can go ahead and add a +1 dagger to your inventory.
9.
9. Searching through the bodies, you don't find anything like that. However, you do begin to hear the sound of hounds coming down, barking through the tunnel. As you're looking through the bodies, and it distracts you. But you do find a few charms on these bodies. It looks to be a femur bone of a smaller creature, maybe like a halfling or a gnome. And with it comes 2 of this creature's hands, kind of wrapped down. And the skull of this creature, what looks to be a small humanoid, wedged in place on the top of this totem. The top half of the head above the eyes cut clean off, leaving just the upper jaw and the lower jaw set in like some type of weird voodoo doll totem type thing. They didn't cast any magic, but it definitely seems to hold some religious significance for all of these goblins to have one.
Any markings on it, like writing?
You see the Crimson Maw sigil carved actually into the into the nose and eye bridge of the skull.
Does air notice Mugen looking at this?
I'd say if you guys are sitting down and trying to catch your breaths, or are you all letting the rope trick spell kind of sit there and
Yeah, Davos is gonna go ahead and climb up in there and take a short rest because he definitely needs to just get a breather.
so you guys are going to burn an hour?
Yeah, smoke break.
Air's gonna make sure everyone's up before he joins, and then and if he notices he'd like to see if he can realize the significance of the totem.
Totems? Okay. Make a religion check. As Mugen, are you climbing up after everyone with the rope trick?
After Air gets a look at the totem, he'll probably poke ahead quietly, see if he can see how far this path goes, if it diverges, any of that fun stuff.
Okay.
Before returning back.
That'd be
Making a religion check?
Air is.
I'm proficient. I'm gonna help him and cast guidance on it.
Okay.
So
Advantage, and you get a guidance D4. Or plus something. I forget what guidance does.
Yeah, it's a D4.
Yeah, you get. I rolled +3.
Rockin' sock'em robots. Best kind of robots.
Yep. Gonna use some hit dice, and doesn't take
That's a
short rest.
27.
27. Okay. This particular totem is rather difficult for you to place, and if you hadn't been given prior research knowledge before making your way here, you would have almost no clue. However, thanks to the work of other guild members and research being done, this is a religious totem to Astarzox, the Devourer, the never-ending hunger, the great prime evil that was locked away by the Triune. A power so vile, so corrupt, so evil that even though it is the same age as the Triune, it is one that was locked away by them and their champions and forcibly forgotten about by the populace, though there were some remains of its influence on cultures, hidden in caves, hidden in books, long ages thought forgotten, and have been turned up many, many years ago. This is an old symbol, and it is a very, very nasty symbol.
Okay. Well then, knowing that, and once everyone's up in the rope trick, he's going to use his racial burning hands to burn the bodies.
Okay, so you're gonna put them all in a pile. Okay. As Mugen, you make your way ahead. You look up and kind of look down. The path seems to go for another 120 feet, but you do see a small blip of light at the end.
With that, Mugen will return back.
Okay. You seem to go the rest of this path without being assaulted.
Well, that's good, because fuck what we just did.
And so he'll return to the group, knowing that they got about another 150 feet before there's some light.
Okay. As you make your way up, you guys are taking an hour. Bodies being burned. Taking an hour for a short rest.
What did the goblin taste like?
The goblin tasted like rot and corruption.
Ugh. Glad I decided to spit it out instead of swallow it.
Well, the voice inside your head seems to be saying something else.
Well, that voice can go fuck itself.
And
I'm
that,
not listening to any
in that
voices in my head
smell of
anymore.
roasting goblin from below. It smells so good. You should go down and eat. Fill your belly. Grow strong with my influence.
Unscrewing his flask, Davos will take a bit of water, swish it around, and try to get as much of the goblin crap out of his mouth as he can with that.
Okay. Make a Constitution saving throw.
$16.
Okay. You hear, lastly, I'll be watching you. So much promise.
Yeah, take a seat in the bleachers. You're one of many.
Are you just talking to yourself out loud?
Probably, but Davos really doesn't give a shit if people look at him funny at this point.
It's
He
fair.
just bit a goblin. He's
Well,
pretty sure that
Jumbo
everyone's
wasn't
already looking at him weird.
questioning the goblin part, because he did draw a bloody backwards D on his forehead. But talk to yourself is a little questionable for him.
Oh yeah, you know what else is questionable, big guy? Getting stuck in a hallway.
Sample looks like muscles.
Yeah, how those working out for you?
I
As-
mean, pretty well. Damage on those two goblins.
As you guys take a short rest, an hour passing by. Go ahead and roll your hit dice. Heal yourselves up. You all climb out of the rope trick, little safety zone, and start making your way towards the other end of the hall. As you get to the end, you look up and you see that there is a ladder that leads up. And as you look, you hear some soft footsteps going on above you. It looks to be about a 90-foot high climb.
Alright, so that's a pretty high one, huh?
Megan shakes his head.
Really missing
If,
Grayson right about now.
if you have no objections, I could easily make that climb in 5 seconds.
Before you do that, let me make sure there's nothing waiting for you out there. Gonna make an investigation check to look for any kind of intentionally loose rocks or traps or trick
Jampool's
parts.
gonna cast guidance on you.
What
Plus-
guidance, you say?
Alrighty. So you give a keen eye.
That is investigation. That is 18.
18.
What's the guidance?
What does the guidance
D4.
do exactly?
Plus
D4.
two.
Oh, in that case, it's a 22.
22.
Oh wait, no, I roll a D4. Duh.
Yeah, you roll for. You want me to roll it for you? Because I already did that.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, 2.
Oh, okay,
20.
So 20.
Looking
Dirty
up,
20.
looking up the railings. Climb looks secure. It looks like they've at least built a good ladder.
All right. Well, it's wood. It's not gonna bite you. So be my guest, I suppose.
Then
Just for the
he'll
love of
use.
God, be quiet, please. For the love of all things.
Then he'll use Step of the Wind to dash up the ladder
Okay.
stealthily.
So you're spending a key point to dash up the ladder. Okay. So as you scramble up, go ahead and make a stealth check.
Megan is again casting False Life,
Not a bad deal.
as you do.
Yep. A couple weeks ago, Davos would have been right there with you. False life. It was Davos' saving grace. That's why he's made it out of a lot of missions alive, because he has false life.
I mean, how's he feeling now? Is he regretting breaking a pact?
He misses Misty Step and Grayson.
That's fair.
Mostly Grayson. Grayson
That's
just flown up there and looked around.
that would be a 13 for stealth.
13. Okay. You make your way up, climbing as fast as you can, and you poke your head up, and you notice that there's a lot of goblins and orcs, hobgoblins, some larger than others, and there's even some goblins who look like tiny orcs, just for their sheer body mass. They are building on to this tower. However, you now do begin to hear the sound of drums. And you look overhead and you watch as an airship docks. It is triangular in shape. It is and opens into an octagon. You notice it seems to have about 8 levels worth of decking. It has red drapering going over the steel plating covering the entire hull of it. It looks to have a fire elemental engine, and the entire thing is encased in steel, and you can actually see several guns, large guns, lining the barrels or lining the sides of this thing. It almost looks like an old oceanic ship, but it is an airship nonetheless, and it looks to be about a Corvette class airship. So it's probably quick, packs a payload, although this one looks to be doing a lot of broadside damage.
I have an idea.
The orcs and the goblins that notice this drop what they're holding, pick up their weapons, and start heading for the scaffolding and start climbing it. None seem to have noticed you. Barely.
Okay. He's going to head down the ladder by 30 feet. And then he's going to send his mage hand down to Davos and motion for an okay. And then put its finger up to his lips to signify to be quiet.
That was just gonna give him say, "Oh, telling." That's hilarious. And we'll then follow up as sneakily as possible.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Stealth, you say?
Everyone go ahead and make a stealth check.
I'm not worried. Because
60.
11 plus 11 is 22. Sweeties, what are you doing? You're going all...
22 is 16.
Air matches that 22.
22 from
11.
air. 11. Okay.
Mugen also got a 22.
Okay. A group success. Look at that. I am impressed.
It's about bloody time.
You did it, boy. Saves America.
Yeah. You climb your way up, and as you reach the top, all of you notice there are a few places for you to find some cover, where you could get behind a rock, some wood, and get yourself some relative safety, if you so choose.
Closing it behind the big rock.
Okay. You move over behind the large rock, getting some good cover. You feel secure, you feel safe. Each of you watching as these orcs continue their climb, and goblins and hobgoblins climbing their way up to the top of the tower. They seem to be heading towards this airship, which all of you now see.
Okay. That thing right there is so gonna be mine someday. That will be my ship. You guys can come on it. I'm the captain.
Sky will look aside to Davos, and you see like stars in her eyes, like actual like she wants that airship just as badly as Davos.
I'll tell
Yeah,
you what,
those-
whoever can get onto it silently gets to keep it.
Oh, damn fool's on my feet out there. Damn fool was thinking about putting a giant axe on the front just to go through stuff.
Mugen wants to look around up this. So the orcs and whatnot, they left what they were doing to go up the scaffolding.
Yeah, you see a lot of wood, a lot of tools left on the ground. There's a lot of working material. There's at least hundreds of thousands of gold worth of materials, which just construction materials freshly forged. You see finely forged nails, perfectly cut lumber. You see they have a large stockpile of trees that have trunks that are about 10 feet in diameter. They have a lot of materials that they all just seem to be abandoning.
What was it that they were building?
Might have been this fortress. Looks to be.
That was
It looks like they were trying to build a fortress to become part of the mountainside. A place to maybe raid Zalen, devour Zalen, whatever it is they wish to do. It seems like they were doing it for this purpose.
Is there an entrance into this fortress?
It looks like the catwalk is the only, or the scaffolding is the only way up. It seems.
I don't see any doors or.
It seems like the only way that they've had for this, at least from this distance, seems to be the scaffolding. There should have been a western gate on this side, but you don't see it at the moment.
Dallas is going to look around and see if he can spot any other way up the wall and into the fortress. Anything
Okay.
at all. Sewer grate, small tunnel, anything.
Make an investigation check.
How big are those nails?
Nails are good size. They're good wood piercing nails. You've got about 3-inch nails all the way down to foot-long length nails, varying sizes, going up by 3s. So 3, 6, 9, 12.
I am using one of my
Okay.
D6s as well with this roll.
Well, Air would like to snatch up a handful of the 9-inch nails.
No, I won't let you make that joke. Shut up, Davos.
Are you sure?
Shut up. I won't let you make that joke. Get out of here.
No fun. No fun.
So while they do that, Mugen will just continue to sneak forward and climb the scaffolding, looking for an entrance in.
Alrighty. Go ahead and make an investigation check, both of you.
So I'll use one of my D6s on the roll for a total of 18 points of investigation.
I got a 19.
19.
La-dee-da, Mr. Bird. Oh wait, don't I have advantage on eye things?
You do.
Oh. Roll this D20 again. Damn it. A little better, I guess.